As the water level rises, Lake Mead is starting to look better. The flow of water in the lake is going up for a number of reasons. This is a good sign for nature. People are happy about this change because it gives them hope that the lake can be made to look like it did before. What has caused the water level in this lake to rise? Is it a lasting way to get it back to normal? Come with us as we talk about how the water in Lake Mead starts to come back. Lake Mead has been around for decades. It gets its water from Lake Powell and is a major source of water for the US, especially for farmers in the area who use it to water their crops. The lake can also be used as a sign for tourists and hikers. Also, fishing, swimming, boats, and just taking it easy have made it a popular place to visit. The Hoover Dam now stores a lot of water in the lake. It comes from Lake Powell and the Rocky Mountains, where snow melts and flows into the Colorado River. Lake Powell, which is its main source of water, is between Utah and Arizona and was made when the Glen Canyon Dam broke. The Glen Canyon Dam is important to the lake because it supplies most of the water and energy for a large part of the southwest United States and parts of Mexico. A small amount of its water goes to cities in the southwest, but most of it is used to grow crops. Like with Lake Mead, the recent rise in Lake Powell's water level is making it hard to remember how low the water level was. As of 2021, the water level was going down so much that people thought the Glen Canyon Dam wouldn't be able to make energy because the reservoir would be too low. But this problem has been fixed because there is now more snow in the area around Lake Powell. A recent study says that 2023 is likely to be one of the top 5 years when the snowpack has grown the most, and the amount of water that will be released as the snow melts is also expected to be high. Because there is more snow, there is a chance that the Glen Canyon Dam will let more water from Lake Powell into Lake Mead. According to data released by the US Bureau of Reclamation, the amount of water in the snow in the Colorado Rockies has hit 158% of the average, which is an increase of about 8% in just 1 week. It has been made sure that Lake Mead will get more water. There is no question that Lake Powell is the main cause of the rise in water level. As the water is let out, it has greatly raised the water level in Lake Mead, which had been falling for decades. As was already said, the snowpack along Colorado is above average. This isn't the only answer to the water shortage, but it does give people a better chance of staying alive. Does it matter that we're trying to fix up Lake Mead? Lake Mead is an important source of water in the southwest of the United States. Its decrease puts at risk the water supply and ways to water crops. Most people know that the lake has 4 water areas along the rivers. It gives water and energy to about 1.3 million people in Las Vegas, Henderson, North Las Vegas, and Boulder City. Together, these cities are home to about 25 million people. Lake Mead is used for more than just homes and farms, which is not a big surprise. Even though farmland uses most of the country's water, industry isn't too far behind. Its main industrial use is for commercial power generation and hydropower. The money made from commercial power generation pays for the building of the dam and pays for its operation, maintenance, and replacement. In a hopeful past, the drought was caused by both natural and human factors. Lake Mead was struggling to provide enough water for about twice as many people as it could when the population was smaller. This was because people were using too much water because there were more of them. Also, taking water away from the lake for growing, cultivating, and other agricultural activities was not only a big reason for the decline, but its waste and chemicals kept getting washed into the lake, which led to a larger than average population of caused water. The most important natural reason for the lake's fall is a change in climate and more severe weather. Due to erratic rains, which is caused by global warming and bad weather, temperatures are high when there are no supplements. The amount of rain that fell started to get close to being the least that had ever been seen. The dry and wet dirt that cracked led to erosion and the growth of the badlands. People depend on the water from Lake Mead for farming, which is why California and Arizona are in passives. More than 70% of the water that goes into the lake is used for irrigation. The last 30% is then split between making power, using it for industry, and getting water to a growing population. Because California is so dependent on water, it is going through one of the worst mega droughts in the past 1,000 years. It's really scary. Even though the shrinking water will have an effect on farmland in the area, everyone is ready for it. Projects and goals have been set up to make sure the situation is handled well. Lake Mead has been getting smaller for decades, but it just hit its lowest point. There's no need to worry or freak out. Still, everyone needs to be careful to remind themselves of what could happen if the case isn't handled well. The government has set up several repair plans for Lake Mead to make sure that this time, everything is done to make sure that the water level doesn't drop to a dangerously low level. The US Bureau of Reclamation's Water Use Reduction Plan is one of the best ways to help. The 2023 Waterfront Project is what it's called. This is not just up to Colorado, but also to the states that get water from Lake Mead. These towns cut back on how much water they use so that they could convert and save water. All but one dependent state, California, have agreed to this project, and it's likely that it will be possible to fix it before summer. The board of directors of the Southern Nevada Water Authority agreed to give up to $20 million to a plan to keep more water in Lake Mead. The goal of this project is to fix up the link and stop the drought. The $200 million should be split between different groups. The Arizona Department of Water Resources is giving $40 billion. The Central Arizona Water Conservation District is giving $20 million. The Metropolitan Water District of Southern California is giving $20 million. The Southern Nevada Water Authority is giving $20 million. And the U.S. government is giving $100 million to help protect water. A recent study said that the Imperial Irrigation District, which gives water to farms in Southeast California, can save up to 250,000 acre-feet or about 81.5 billion gallons of water. The two-tier water reduction projects for Lake Mead and the Colorado River were released by the federal government of Colorado on August 16, 2022. The goal of the plan is to control how much water Southern Nevada can take from Lake Mead. Since the beginning of January 2023, this order has been in place and followed. The main reason for this project is that there might not be enough water if nothing is done. The amount of water that different states that depend on water get has been cut back until the lake's water level changes in a big way. There have also been plans to buy several farmlands and pay farmers in Nevada, Arizona, and California to save water. People say that the payment is up to $400 per acre foot of water still in Lake Mead. Only the Gila River Indian community in Arizona has shown interest, so it doesn't look like a lot of people will show up or help. There are also a number of other repair projects that need to be done, such as the Arid Land Repair and Revegetation Project, which is a research study on active soil manipulation and, more importantly, the replanting of deserts. Lake Powell is good for Colorado, and they need to keep it that way. Lake Mead gets water from Lake Powell, but that's not all it does. It also has a number of other perks. Lake Powell is one of the main sources of water for the lower basin states, such as California, Arizona, and Nevada. It holds up to 26 million acre-feet of water and is the second largest reservoir after Lake Mead. With its big storage, it has been a backup that never fails for many decades. Lake Powell has the room needed to keep water flowing downriver without limiting the upper basin stage to only taking in the water it needs. This large store in history has made a big difference in how Arizona has grown over the years. Arizona's economy grew because of how much it used the lake for most of its operations. Also, like Lake Mead, Lake Powell is a place where tourists go to relax, play, and have fun. Researchers and scientists, among others, have been there because it is a big source of hydroelectric power. Since Lake Powell is made of sandstones, it's important to dump water into other bodies of water like Lake Mead to help save water. It doesn't flood like other lakes that don't have sandstone properties because it sends water to other areas of water. The Hoover Dam also benefits from the Powell Dam. Not only does the Hoover Dam have less work to do to give water, but Lake Powell also helps provide electricity for the area and most of the people in Colorado. It's everyone's job to make sure that the dam lasts as long as possible. Because water from Lake Powell flows into Lake Mead, there is a chance for the lake and the surroundings around it. Since Lake Mead is getting more water, things that hurt the ecosystem, like dryness, drought, erosion, and empty lands, can now be fixed to make the ecosystem healthy again. The more physically enjoyable benefit is that these relaxation and recreation activities and tourists in the area may be able to start up again. The lake is more likely to be open for swimming, boats, and fishing again. It's a really cool new thing. The return of tourism won't just be good for exploration, it will also help businesses that count on tourism to make good sales. In other words, both small and big businesses will be able to make more money. The thing that was holding back their business is about to open up. Every part of the business was affected by the lack of water. The new change has brought about a lot more than just a house. There is also a feeling of safety for everyone. There are more than just good ways to deal with how things are changing. There's still so much more to come. What do you think about Lake Mead likely getting better? Tell us what you think in the area below. Don't forget to like, share, follow, and click the notify me button so you can get more information about new videos.